Hey, this is Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com and welcome to week 3 of your training program. In this video, we are going to have a look at how you can discover your profitable niche 2.0. And I call it niche 2.0 instead of a niche because the way I'm going to explain niches to you is going to be completely different and you are going to understand it in a way that you have never seen before. I hope you have completed your week 1 and week 2 videos and I hope you have also done the assignments for week 1 and week 2. If you have not completed them, please go back, complete them and then continue with week 3. Without understanding the marketing fundamentals, you will not be able to make sense of the content that we are going to learn in this particular video. So with that note, let's get started. First, let's look at the importance of selecting a niche. Why is selecting a niche so important? Let's do a small thought experiment. What if there is one company that provides all the services and all the products to all the people in the world? How would it be? This one company will not be innovative, they will not be competitive, and the products might be pretty boring if it is coming from a single company. That is why different people specializing in different things brings in variety and makes a culture very rich. If you are going to go ahead and create a product or service, I would recommend that you need to focus on one niche. The man who chases two rabbits catches none. You cannot try to do multiple things at the same time and still be good at it. Whatever energy that is being distributed over multiple projects, I want you to take those energies and just put it in a single project and make it as best as possible. And this is a lesson that I have learned through the years, and it is very difficult to focus on one thing. The grass is greener where you water it, not on the other side. Don't jump from one niche to another. And don't think that a particular niche is not profitable. If you go deep enough in a single niche and if you make sure that there is a market need and the niche is also aligned to your inclinations and your interests, then you will definitely make money in that niche. Imagine calling everyone in a crowd. No one will bother. Call specific people and they will respond. If you are in front of 100 people and if you call them out as hey everyone, then nobody is going to respond to you. If you call hey all the men here, then some men are going to respond to you. If you call all the doctors there and ask hey is there any doctor here, and if there are 5 doctors, then there is a very high chance that at least 4 of them will respond to you. And if you call someone out by their name, they will definitely respond to you. And that is why having a niche and having specificity is very important to get the response of people. And when we are doing marketing, everything is about getting a response from people and getting people to listen to what we say. You can always change your niche on a later date. It is important to pick one and move forward with it. My first niche was a motorcycle blog. A lot of people think too much about their niche and they don't take any action on it. They keep thinking which is the best niche to enter and they don't do anything at all. It is like if you want to go from one place to another, you have to start your car and start moving. If you go to a junction, if there is a red signal, you wait until it turns green and then you go to the next junction. If there is a road closure, then you take a diversion. If you keep waiting and if you say that I will only start the car and start moving after all the signals turn green, then you will never start the car. You will never start moving. A lot of people I know get paralyzed by the difficulty of choosing a niche and going forward with it. If you don't choose a niche at all, and then if you keep thinking, you probably might never find your ideal niche. But if you choose a niche and go move forward with it, then eventually you might find your niche. For example, I was interested in motorcycles. I started a motorcycling publication. And when I started a motorcycle publication, I found out that I was good at driving traffic to the motorcycle blog rather than publishing very good articles on motorcycles. I was not that technical with my publishing, but my articles were ranking better than, much better articles. So I found out that I was good in digital marketing because I started a motorcycle blog and then I became a digital marketing trainer. You need to find your calling. I cannot tell you what niche to pick. A lot of people ask me, hey Deepak, why don't you just tell us a list of profitable niches and I will just choose one of it? It doesn't work like that. It is a work that you have to put in yourself and you need to find your calling. and we will discuss more about it in the future sections of this video on how a niche has to be something that is unique to you and something that relates to you very well. I want you to remember this quote: the man who chases two rabbits catches none. So always focus on one thing, and as long as you focus on one thing, you will be able to succeed in it. Now let's get to the second thought experiment in this particular video. I call it the island thought experiment. Imagine that there are 500 people in an island, and these 500 people have different products and services that are required for them. Let's say they need fruits and berries to be plucked, then they need to do fishing, they need to have clothes, they need to have housing, and then they need to have furniture. So if this 500 people in an island 10,000 years back, if this is all what they needed, imagine what if all the 500 people learn all the five major skills and try to do everything at the same time? What would be the fate of that island? Alternatively, imagine if 100 people focus on one particular skill each. Let's say everybody is trying to catch fish, and on average, everybody can catch one fish per day. If there are 500 people in the island, the total amount of fish that is being caught in that particular island per day is 500. However, if there are only 100 people who focus on fishing and leave the rest of the skills to others, it's not just 500 per day that all the 100 men will catch. These 100 men will probably catch 1000 per day total, where each and every fisherman will go ahead and catch like 10 fishes a day, because they are just focusing on one thing and they will become better at it. They will probably get fishing boats, they will probably get fishing nets, and they will learn how to catch fish in a better way because they are just focusing on one thing. So the basic idea is that if you specialize on one thing, then the productivity will increase. It means that the wealth for all the islanders is increasing. So if you look at the people who are just focusing on clothing will make clothing faster. The people who are just focused on housing will be more efficient and more productive in building houses, which means that everybody can have more time, and overall the island can have a lot more wealth than everybody trying to do the same thing. Now this is just an example to help you understand how specialization can lead to increased wealth for all the people and how it can lead to increased productivity. So infinite wealth through specialization is what is happening in the world right now. We live in a global village of more than 7 billion people. There is an opportunity for doctors, scientists, lawyers, writers, chefs, singers, painters, trainers, coders, and the list keeps going on. And there are subcategories within each of these categories. New niches are born every day. New needs are discovered every day. Every need will give rise to more needs. So let's say people want to buy a car. That is a need to get from one place to another. If people buy a car, then there are more needs because they bought a car. They need to get the car washed, they need to get the car serviced, they need to upgrade their interiors, they need to add fuel to it, and so many things will be born out of the need that is fulfilled. So new needs are discovered every day and new niches are born every day. And you need to understand that there is an abundance in this world in terms of needs that is not being fulfilled, and the world, as it gets more and more complex and as more and more new products are released into the world, more new things will be required in this world. You need to find out a good market and you need to match it with your passion and your talent, which we will discuss more about in the later sections of the video. As everyone specializes in one thing, the wealth of the entire world goes up. My niche is digital marketing, and I can afford to focus on one niche for my entire life and get paid for it because we live in a global village connected in real time via the internet. I don't need to do anything else. I can hire people to do it for me because I am focusing on one thing, I earn money for it, and that money can be exchanged for other things. I don't need to build a car if I need to get from one place to another. I don't need to stitch my own clothes. And this is how division of labor works. And division of labor is rooted in specialization. As everybody specializes in one thing, then the wealth of the entire nation goes up. As you spend years specializing in one skill, it will become harder and harder for someone else to catch up with you. This is also one of the reasons you should focus on one thing. because others will find it very difficult to replicate that skill. Imagine for 30 years you just specialize in one thing. There will be no one else in the world who will be as good as you in that particular thing. You can also mix and match skills. It's called skill stacking. I'm not saying that you need to focus on too many things at the same time, but if you get good at two things, then people who are good at two things at the same time will be very rare. For example, if you are a neuroscientist who also understands robotics, then the people who are neuroscientists who know robotics will be pretty much non existent in the world. So instead of trying to become the number one neuroscientist in the world or the number one robotics specialist in the world, if you have both the skills, then you are going to become the only one, not just the number one. So when you just go behind one skill or one subject, then there might be a lot of competition. So we can do something called skill stacking, which we will learn about more in the later sections of the video. So now let's talk about your life's task and purpose. What is your life's task? What is your life's purpose? What are you here to achieve? Our schooling and education system has not trained us to think about this very frequently. But now it is better late than never. Now, there is a hidden force that drives us towards activities and subjects based on our natural inclinations. And this force manifests itself as pure curiosity. A lot of people think that they need to work hard in a particular subject to become better at it. But what if you are naturally curious about certain subjects? This curiosity you would have observed when you were a kid. Curiosity is the driving force of learning a new subject and a new skill. If you force yourself to learn something new, you will never be able to learn it properly. You were probably inclined towards learning digital marketing and you wanted to learn how digital marketing works, and that is why you signed up for this digital marketing internship program. This was definitely driven by curiosity. Nobody put you in a school or university and said that you have to learn this. This force is pure and unadulterated in childhood. But the force gets reshaped by the world around us as we grow up, often in the wrong ways. And people say that, hey, you should not be interested in this, you should not be interested in that, do this, do that. And we are not having the freedom to pursue what is interesting to us naturally. And the lack of connection with your true primal interests can make you miserable. And a lot of people feel unhappy at work, and they feel unhappy at work because that work that they are doing is not something that they are naturally inclined to do. Right now I enjoy learning new things and I enjoy creating training videos like this. And I'm naturally inclined towards the topic of training because that's my passion. And when I do something like this, I'm not feeling like it's a lot of work. I'm having fun doing this. The first task in choosing your niche is connecting with that inner force, and it's never too late to start that process. A lot of people teach about niche selection in a very, very basic way. They say these are the different niches and go choose one. But nobody tells you that your niche has to be somehow connected with that inner force. And if you have felt like you have deviated from that inner force, then you can always reconnect with it. It took me almost 10 years for me to reconnect with that force. Your downsides and challenges will give rise to unique advantages that others will not have. So if you have a lot of challenges and problems in your life, don't look at it as obstacles. Sometimes the obstacles become the pathway. And to explain this in an in-depth way, let me go ahead and tell you the story of Leonardo da Vinci. So Leonardo, the great artist, had a very tough childhood. He was actually born out of wedlock and he was banned from universities and noble professions. So this was around the 15th century. And in 15th century, if you are born out of wedlock, then you are deprived of a lot of things. So since he could not go to school, he would go and spend his free time in the forest near the waterfalls. And he used to steal some sheets of paper from his dad's office. And at that time, even papers were very rare. And he went ahead and started drawing things in the forest. He had no art teachers and he kept drawing to kill time. And that is how his early years were formed. He observed nature closely as the plants grew and other nature forms took shape. He used it as an inspiration for his paintings. And this is something that he will not learn in an art school or from an art teacher. And he kind of developed his own method of painting. And a lot of people agree that when they see Leonardo da Vinci's paintings, there seems to be some life in it. And that comes from his early childhood and from his early practice of trying to redraw things that he was seeing in the forest. On his deathbed, he felt that it was a blessing to have been born illegitimate. He did not have a huge ego, and he was not a victim of social forces that impacted other artists. Other artists took decisions and did work, according to the way the society expects them to be. But since Leonardo da Vinci was born illegitimate and he was already a misfit, he was not afraid of being a misfit. And I feel that that is a very big advantage. If you have felt that you are not able to fit in school, in college, in your workplace, and if you felt that you have been a little bit different from others, that might be your superpower, because you might be able to go and do things which others are not doing, and that is the thing which will make you famous, which will make you a legend. Leonardo chose his own way, and his greatness was because of his unique path. All the great people in history, Napoleon Bonaparte, Albert Einstein, Socrates, everyone had their own downsides, and they always speak about an inner voice or a hidden force that guides them towards their work. Connecting with that inner force, that childlike wonder, that natural inclination where you are just feeling passionate and inspired about something is the secret to do great work, and that's what makes a legend. And now, with that note, let's talk about the making of a legend. How is a legend made? Everyone can be a legend in their own field. You will do something more only if you enjoy doing it. And you will develop mastery at something only if you do it for a long time where time stands still. As you become an expert at one thing, you will enjoy doing it even more, which leads to higher levels of mastery. A feedback loop that cannot be stopped. That's when you become unstoppable. Let's take my own example. My natural inclination is to have a deep understanding of complex concepts. And this helps me teach it to others in a way that they can understand. And this is my passion, and I enjoy doing it. And because I enjoy doing it, I do a lot of it. And it doesn't feel like work to me. And right now I'm doing this training video, it doesn't feel like work to me. And I become an expert in it because I do it for a long time. And when I become an expert in it, I enjoy doing it even more. For example, 3 years back when I was doing training videos, I was not really good at it. And I did not enjoy it as much as I am doing it right now. Imagine if you're a musician and you can play amazing songs with your instruments, you will probably enjoy it more, right? So it kind of creates like a positive feedback loop. And the better you get at it, the more you will do it. And the more you do it, the better you will get at it. And it will make you do it even more. And then one day you become a legend. So there is no hard work involved here. There is only inspired action. And that is how the greatest musicians, the greatest scientists, the greatest doctors in the world are made, because they just enjoy doing it. They don't push themselves to do it. And you need to find that unique match of things that you want to do. And it's a lifelong process. It's not going to happen overnight. But it's a good time to start. Now is a good time to start. So think about what you are naturally inclined to. It is never too late to start this process. Connect with the child inside you. Be childlike. That is the secret to becoming a legend. Now let's talk about a very deep and spiritual concept when it comes to idea manifestation. I would say that the idea needs you to manifest itself into reality. A lot of people think that creators come up with ideas. They don't think of it in such a way that a great idea needs a channel to manifest itself into reality. An idea has a life of its own. If you imagine that the idea has a life of its own, then it will choose the person who is best suited to make that idea into a reality, just like a soul. You just have to prepare yourself for it, and the idea will manifest through you. What I am saying is that when you think about the birth of humans, we don't think about humans making babies. We think about a soul which manifests itself into reality through a mother as a boy or a girl child. Similarly, you have to imagine an idea as something which has a life, which has a soul, and that particular idea is not a reality yet, and it will choose the person who is best suited to make it into a reality. So let's say there is an idea for a great novel. Let's say the idea is the Harry Potter novel. So the Harry Potter story wants to manifest itself as a novel into this world, and it chooses J.K. Rowling because Harry Potter idea thinks that J.K. Rowling is the best person who is suited to put in the work to make that idea into a reality. Just like a soul is born in this world through a human, an idea is born into this world through a creator. If you think about a great tune, the great tune will choose a great musician to come itself into reality. So a lot of creators get stressed about the problem of coming up with new ideas. And what I have observed is that most of the biggest creators and the most famous creators in the world have always said that the idea is something that comes from outside and it just passes through them and then it manifests into reality. And the creator ends up getting all the fame, but most of the creators feel like it is not them who came up with the idea. They were just the channel through which the idea has manifested itself. And this is a very, very deep and spiritual idea to digest. If you think about it in a spiritual way, then it will make sense. The more you are connected with this inner force, the more happy you will be in your life. Inspired literally means, in Latin, something from outside breathing within us. You need to be connected with this inner force, that force which was very obvious when you were a child. You were just interested in something, some things just pulled you into it, it just consumed you, and you need to get in touch with it. And that's what inspiration means. Inspiration means that something from outside is breathing within us. Some people who do great work are just obsessed with it. They just keep working on it without noticing the passage of time. Albert Einstein used to solve equations for hours and hours together. Scientists, artists, poets, singers, musicians, all these people are obsessed about something, and that obsession is what leads to mastery, and that is what makes a legend. When you do such work, you will get into a state of flow where time stands still. You will be working for several hours and suddenly you will realize how much time has passed by. Do not work hard, instead, take inspired action. This is the only source of true happiness in the world. This is when you become a natural at it. Have you heard of people tell things like, hey, it comes to him naturally, he is just a natural at it? When you see a pianist playing a song without any effort at all, being a master at it, we say that it comes to him naturally. When we see a great public speaker just speak effortlessly and thousands of people are standing up and giving him a standing ovation, we say that it comes to him naturally. If you want to become a natural in something, then you need to get connected with this inner force. You need to develop mastery in a particular skill. When you engage years of your life with activities that absorb you, that's when you develop mastery. Others will call you a legend, but only you will know the secret. It's not your work. You just worked hard to prepare yourself, and the force manifests itself through you. So, this is the secret to manifesting ideas, and I have always strongly believed in it. And I never take credit for my ideas. I am just a channel through which the idea will manifest itself. But there is a big problem. Not everyone can become a legend. There is an enemy that stands between you and your life's task. What is that enemy? A legend is born when he defeats the enemy. A demon, a counterforce, an obstacle, a ferocious dragon is standing between you and your life's task. Unless you defeat it, you will never win. This enemy will manifest itself in many forms. It lures you with a safe and secure job with a stable income. It manifests in the form of your parents asking you to become something that you are not interested in. It manifests itself in the form of a society who is putting pressure on you to conform. It manifests itself in the form of a spouse or a significant other who will give you advice with good intentions to do something responsible with your life. Do not listen to anyone else around you. The only person that you need to listen is your inner voice. Your inner voice will tell you what is it that you are meant to do. A lot of people look at their career as something that will help them make money and then they try to buy happiness with that money. That is a very, very bad strategy to be happy in life. Most of your life, you are going to be working. You might as well choose something where you totally enjoy working, and your happiness and fulfillment will come from working. And you will be able to see that a lot of creators who end up making a lot of money with their work, they will lead a very simple life. They don't need to spend that money to buy a Lamborghini or to go on international vacations and buy fancy stuff, because it is not where they gain that happiness from. They do not gain happiness from consumption. They gain happiness from creation. And once you become a creator, that's all you need in life. And that is what true happiness is about. This demon will always redirect you from finding the true happiness. And this is a demon that needs to be defeated every day, else it will lure you in. It's not like one time you defeat it and then you are good to go for the rest of your life. Every day you will be feeling forces where it will take you from your true calling and you need to constantly get back in touch with it. The force is the highest when it is about to get defeated. Like, for example, let's say you are quitting a job and you are planning to start a new business. That's when you will face the maximum resistance. Everybody around you will say no. And you will know that you are in the right path when the force is high against you. A big resistance from the world around you means that you are in the right path. A disconnection from this force will make your life miserable, and you will start looking for other sources of pleasure, such as drugs, entertainment, promiscuity, and adrenaline pumping activities that are dangerous. You will get really bored, you will get really frustrated, and we all know people who are in the corporate who try to work from Monday to Friday. They don't do productive work anyway, and they always keep doing something very boring, and then Friday they get drunk, and then the entire weekend, Saturday and Sunday, they are watching movies, they are trying to get some entertainment done, they probably do some dangerous activities, and this is what life has become for most of the people out there, and it is a very very sad state of affairs. Even this person is making a lot of money, it does not make sense because they are not happy in their jobs and they try to make the money with the unhappy work that they are doing, and then they try to buy happiness with the money that they have, and they are just beggars of happiness. You should never be in that state. If you are doing something in a career where you are not totally absorbed into it and totally enjoy what you are doing, you should immediately quit. A lot of people will say no, but you know that that will be the right thing to do to keep yourself sane and to keep yourself creative and get back in touch with that inner voice, inner force. And this force is a very, very empowering force. This is the force that will make you into a legend. Since our childhood, we have always wanted to fit inside a group, and we felt bad when we were left out. We tried everything to make sure that we are not left out. But the reality of the world is that unless you are okay being left out, you are never going to stand out. And this is a quote that I like very much. Only the misfits have a chance in this world to succeed. When you want to be unique and when you want to be different from others and when you don't want to be like everyone else, you have to be different. Only if you live like no one else, you will be able to live like no one else. You can't fit inside a group, be like everyone else, and at the same time expect success and standing out. The world wants you to fit in, but then it celebrates the misfits. The world is sending you mixed signals. That is the demon in action. It will do everything to try to fit you in into a group, to be like everyone else. But you have to go against this force and you have to be unique and you have to follow your calling. People who do not find their true calling are hungry for uniqueness. When they have chosen a career that doesn't let them create, they try to express their uniqueness through consumerism. People who are in boring and repetitive jobs, even if it pays very well, and they don't create something, they have this feeling that they are just like everyone else. And they have this feeling that they want to express their uniqueness and tell the world how different they are. So they end up buying stuff. They buy stuff like different colored clothes, different colored cars. They go ahead and design a very unique home. They do the interior design, which is not like anyone else. And this is them trying to express their uniqueness through consumerism. The corporate world is selling you stuff to make you feel unique. And this is the biggest scam in the world. Everybody who wants to feel unique, instead of creating something and feeling that uniqueness naturally, they are going ahead and buying something. And the corporate world is taking advantage of it. You should not become a victim of it. If you want to feel unique, create something. That is why a lot of artists and creators are not very big consumers. They don't buy fancy stuff. They don't buy fancy cars because they are already feeling very unique and they are happy and satisfied with that uniqueness. When I started creating, the need for consumption disappeared. When I was in a corporate job, just like everyone else, just making money every month as a salary, I felt like I wanted to buy a lot of clothes. I wanted to go on international vacations. I wanted to post it on social media because there was this hunger for telling the world, hey, I'm not just like everyone else, I'm unique, I'm different, and I'm special. But all that need disappeared when I started creating. Now I am creating training videos like this, I'm mentoring people. I feel very unique, and I don't feel the need to express my uniqueness through consumerism. There are not many legends in this world because it is not easy to defeat this counterforce. And you need to work very hard to defeat this counterforce so that you can become unique and you can find your true calling. If you want to stand out and be unique, you have to be a misfit. There is no other way. You cannot fit in, be like everyone else, and still be unique. If you do not find your true calling, you will be asked to model others' calling. You will be asked to go ahead and do what others are doing, and it will feel miserable. It will feel like you are wearing the wrong size shoe for the rest of your life. Do not do that mistake. These are the important things that you need to keep in mind when you are choosing your niche. And finding your niche is not easy, it is a very difficult process, but this is a process that you have to go through because if you don't go through this process, somebody else is going to choose a niche for you and they are going to ask you to do certain things which you do not like for the rest of your life. Sometimes it's also very simple to find out what you are interested in. And if you have designed your life in such a way that you do not need too much money, too much luxury, then you can keep your life simple and just focus on creation and you will derive all your happiness through creation. And in the long term, you will end up making a lot of money and then other people will try to model you. But nobody will understand that you are unique and nobody else can be like you. When you are tapping into this creative force, it is a source of an infinite power. This creative force that helps you do great work is the same creative force that made this universe, the galaxies, and the planets. Something wanted to come into existence and it came into existence. When you are creating something, you feel like God. What do gods do in their free time? They create. When you become a creator, you feel like God, and it's a very positive feeling. And in the week one, we talked about this number one feeling or emotion, which is joy, love, empowered. And this power will be coming to you if you are creating. You need to be in a good state of mind to create, and if you create, you will remain in a good state of mind. It works both ways. When you get in touch with this force, you will feel unstoppable. You will feel a sense of God, and you will feel like nothing in this world can stop you. The more you tap into this energy field, the better your work will be. The quality of your work is completely dependent on how much you are in touch with this force. Others will think that you made it yourself, but only you will know that you were only responsible for slaying the dragon that stood in the way. You just created the path. Once the path is clear, the idea will manifest itself. You are just the path, you are the channel. Others who struggle for power will fail miserably in front of you. You don't play by the same rules. They will feel that the game is rigged. And it is. You have something that they don't have. You got in touch with your inner calling. And that is why you have an unfair advantage against everyone else who is trying to do what you are doing. And this brings us to the point of discovering your unique niche. How do you discover your unique niche? Once you discover your unique niche, your vocation, your calling, you do not need to look for happiness outside of your work. A major part of your life is made of work. And the word vocation comes from Latin, which means to call or be called. Look for the inner voice that is buried deep within the noise of your parents and the society. You cannot leave everything and do something new. You have to navigate your career in a way that it connects with your childhood inclinations layer by layer. Start doing something which connects with that interest. You cannot turn everything overnight. If you have deviated far from the path that you were supposed to be in, then you have to go back to that path slowly, step by step. You also need to get paid. If you have a family and if you have rents to pay and bills to pay, then you need to continue working. You need to be doing what you are already doing, but slowly try to start doing something that will connect with your primal instincts. To build a strong culture in a nation, everyone needs a unique niche. Equality doesn't mean everyone does the same thing. Equality means that everyone has an equal opportunity to pursue their own unique niche. Finding a niche that suits you perfectly is a lifelong process. Keep fine tuning it. Do not be afraid of disappointing people. All that matters is that you get in touch with your primal instincts of your true interests and your true inclinations. When you find it, you will know it. And that is when you will experience true freedom. Because all day you will be working on things that you love and you will also get paid for it, and people will celebrate you as a legend. It won't feel like hard work, it's going to be fun all the way. I like this quote very much. Become who you are by learning who you are. It's a lifelong process of learning who you really are. And this quote was by this ancient Greek poet called Pindar, and he wrote it around 1600 BC. Now, let's talk about some strategies to find your niche, and I will also show you some examples of people who worked for a very long time to find their perfect niche. Think about your childhood inclinations. What were you interested as a kid when the world's demand was not on your shoulders? What were you naturally interested in? What were you doing in your free time? What were you reading? Albert Einstein was transfixed when his dad gave him a compass when he was 5. And since then, he had this innate desire to understand the forces of the universe. He wanted to understand how gravity works, how magnetism works, and this was his childhood inclination. Marie Curie discovered radium. She got inspired by her dad's lab. She spent her life in physics and chemistry experiments. Your niche is not just a way to make money, it is religious, it is spiritual, and you need to be connected with the invisible force that is the force of creation. When you get in touch with this force, you will feel unstoppable, you will feel amazing. There is no words to describe that feeling. You have to experience it for yourself. This will give you pleasure, heightened awareness, and ability to pause time itself. You will feel like time is just slipping away, and you will not notice the passage of time. It will feel like time stands still. Dig deep into your primal code. Think about your childhood. It's already there. You just need to get back in touch with it. Everyone is unique and everyone has this force inside them. You have just forgotten about it and you just don't know about it. Please get in touch with it. Now, let's take a look at the story of V.S. Ramachandran. V.S. Ramachandran is a famous neuroscientist, and here you can see a picture of him on the TED stage, not a TEDx stage. How V.S. Ramachandran found his niche. He was born in Madras, now Chennai, in 1951. Right from his childhood, he was fascinated by science. His journey started with collecting seashells. He used to go to the beach and he started collecting seashells and he was just fascinated by it. He joined a medical school but didn't find interest in becoming a doctor. And that happens to a lot of us. We think that we want to do a certain thing in our life, we start doing it, and then we find out that this is not we were meant to do. And it is okay to change your path. It's okay to fight so that you can get in touch with your true inclinations. He once read the book called Eye and Brain by Richard Gregory, and he started learning more about it and he published a paper on it. As a doctor, he was more interested in the eye and brain. He was invited to Cambridge University, but soon he lost interest along the way. He discovered that it didn't fit him. He joined as an assistant professor in visual psychology in the University of California in San Diego, and he started getting deviated again. He got interested in the phenomenon of phantom limbs and started research on it. Once he started doing that, he found out that that is his true niche. He devoted the rest of his life to neurological disorders. He is the only one in his niche. He became so famous that he got the opportunity to speak at the TED stage, and he is being consulted when it comes to neurological disorders such as phantom limbs and other disorders. Now, isn't this inspiring? How V.S. Ramachandran found his niche. He became world famous by focusing on a really, really narrow niche, which is neurological disorders. He studied medicine, then he studied about the eye, then he learned about the brain, then he learned about psychology, and finally he found his niche. Now let's look at another inspiring story like this. The story of Yoki Matsuoka. She is right now the CTO of Google Nest. She grew up in Japan in the 1970s. She started training on swimming at a very early age because her parents wanted her to become good at swimming. She started learning piano because her parents wanted to become a pianist. But then she found out that she was not interested in sports. She had her inclination towards math and science. Then she took up tennis but studied math and science in her free time. She dreamed about inventing a robot that could play tennis but had no idea where to start. She kept looking for opportunities to combine both her interests. She applied to the University of California at Berkeley and started studying electrical engineering. And then from there, she got deviated to robotics. A professor invited her to the lab of robotics and then she later joined MIT. She designed the hands and arms of a robot. She found out that she is very interested in robotics. She is also interested in sports, which is tennis. She had a little bit of knowledge about it, and then she started combining all these things. And then she found out that she would also want to learn neuroscience because she wanted to learn how the brain works, and then she wanted to include it in robotics. That is how she found her niche. You can go ahead and look up the story of Yoki Matsuoka. Now, from these two stories, you would have discovered that people who are hungry to find their niche never rest. They are always changing from one thing to another until they find the vocation that fits them perfectly. And they end up doing this thing called skill stacking. Here you can see that Yoki Matsuoka was interested in robotics as well as neuroscience, and combining these two things helped her develop the hands and arms of a robot. I'm not sure if she had succeeded in making the robotic hand play tennis automatically, but I'm pretty sure she will get there soon. If you go ahead and overlap two skills, then you will find your unique niche and you will become the only one in the whole world and you will become an expert in it. And that's how legends are created. Your niche is always evolving, and that is why I call it Niche 2.0. There is no such thing as static niches, and you have to choose one. There will be new niches that is coming along in the world all the time, and you will discover that there are niches which nobody thought existed, and you will be able to discover and create new niches. Instead of discovering a new niche, you will actually end up inventing a niche. Now let's look at how your niche is always evolving. Stack multiple skills and resist the temptation to be like others. Imagine there is a digital marketer who knows coding as well. He can develop a SaaS app. Imagine a coder that knows biotechnology. He can develop a tech solution for farmers. A doctor that knows digital marketing. He can create a marketing agency for doctors and hospitals. A lawyer that understands human psychology, he can win cases by applying psychological hacks. When you stack multiple skills, you become unique in the world and no one can beat you. A language expert who knows 5 languages and also someone who knows coding, he can develop a language learning app. Keep adding variations into your vocation by learning something new, and finding the right mix is a lifelong process. And that is why learning new skills is very important. People's purchasing power in your niche will also evolve as the market changes. Before Apple launched their iPhone, no one thought that people will spend $1,000 for an iPhone or $5,000 for a laptop. But Apple proved everyone wrong and it became a reality. People do spend that kind of money if the quality is delivered. Before Starbucks launched their premium coffee, no one thought that people would be ready to spend $5 for a coffee. Before Ford launched a car, no one said they wanted a car. They would have said they wanted faster horses. Before I launched the internship program, no one thought such a program can work. But I had an idea about where the industry is going to be and I launched it. In your niche, you have to become the person that is going to bring the objective truth to the market and the right balance of products and services at the right place. Only then you can be a leader in your niche. You have to bring back the objective truth into the market. Now let's have a look at what it means to become a T-shaped expert in your niche. Who is a T-shaped expert? You know everything in general about a specific niche, and then you become an expert in a micro niche within a niche. A brain surgeon or a cardiologist first needs to become a general doctor. Only after becoming a general doctor, they can specialize in one thing. The base that you form in a particular subject becomes the foundation of your specialization. Even if you want to learn a specific type of musical instrument, then you need to go ahead and understand the basics of that particular instrument and basics of music itself before you go ahead and become an expert in a specific instrument. I know everything about digital marketing, but my specialization is in lead generation and marketing automation. I cannot go ahead and become a lead generation and marketing automation expert by not having an idea about digital marketing at all. You need to be a generalist and then you need to become a specialist. That's what I mean by a T shaped digital marketer or a T shaped expert. You can learn everything in digital marketing yourself, and depending on where your inclination is, you can specialize in one micro niche. It could be Facebook ads, social media, content marketing, paid ads, or analytics. It could be anything. And after this particular internship program, you will be doing advanced internship programs where you will be specializing in one thing. And this is how college education and school education is also designed. School education, most of the time you are learning something general. You are learning about English and grammar. You are learning about mathematics. You are learning about all the basics of all the subjects. And then you are going ahead and specializing in one thing when you are in college. You are specializing another subtopic when you are doing your masters or your PhD. Here is an example of a T-shaped expert. So let's say these are the five major areas when it comes to digital marketing: content, SEO, email, ads, and social media. So within email, there are multiple subtopics: lead generation, lead scoring, marketing automation, and let's say personalization. So I am a T-shaped expert, which means that I know everything in digital marketing, but then within the lead generation category, I go ahead and specialize in it. However, over time, you don't need to remain a T-shaped expert. You can become something called a V-shaped expert. A V-shaped expert means that you really know one subject very well, very deep, and then you start gaining skills in other subjects as well. So here you can see that I do have experience with SEO and paid ads as well. I don't have it as much as the email category, but it is definitely more than content and social. So this is what a V-shaped expert means. And over time you can become a V-shaped expert, and this V can keep expanding. You can keep adding new skills to the top, and you can keep becoming a generalist in a lot of topics, and you can be a specialist in one topic, and you can kind of be somewhere between a generalist and a specialist in other topics which is closely related to your main topic of specialization. So here are some books that you can read if you want to find out how to choose your niche. Ikigai is an excellent book which talks about something very much like my graph where I showed you that a niche is going to be a combination of passion, talent, and market opportunity. Robert Greene's book called The Mastery is something that I really love, and a lot of concepts in this video has been inspired by the book Mastery. And then there is this book called The Art of Work. All these books are great books, and there are a lot more books which help you choose your niche, and I will be listing them in my blog, and I will leave the link to the blog post below this video. So here is the graph which will help you find your niche. Your niche has to be a combination of talent, passion, and market opportunity. And so far in this video, we have mostly talked about talent and passion. Passion is what you are naturally inclined at. Talent is what you have developed mastery at by working on it for years. But now you have to combine it with a market opportunity. That is the most important thing of this particular video. Because without the market opportunity, talent and passion is not going to do any help for you. Because sometimes you might be extremely passionate about certain things, you will develop a mastery at it, but people might not need it. When people don't need it, then you will not be able to make money. If you think that you can spend your life focusing on one area, and it's okay if people don't need your products and services immediately, it's okay to develop mastery at it. And certain people have the luxury to do that. And in some of the examples we have seen, for example, Yoki Matsuoka, she went ahead and learned about robotics and neuroscience. And she wouldn't have an idea how robotics and neuroscience will immediately apply in certain areas that people will pay money for it, but she pursued it anyway. When you are going behind a passion and talent, and when it is very deep, you might be making money only towards the end when there is suddenly a market need and nobody is serving that market need because nobody saw it coming. So this is a little bit rare, and you can always do that if you have that luxury. If you don't need to make money immediately, if you live a simple life and if you are provided enough for your life, then you can take out 5 years of your life to go ahead and learn a specific subject which is very very deep and something that is extremely passionate for you, and suddenly maybe one day the world will find you and celebrate you as a legend. But in the short term, if you want to end up making money, then you might need to go behind the market opportunity as well and try to combine your existing passion and talent with the market opportunity as much as possible. So now it is time to understand the market and the needs of the people in your niche. What do people want? People want to go from their current state to their desired state. This is what everybody wants. This is what every customer wants. The customer does not want to buy your product. The customer wants a solution, and your product becomes a bridge to that solution. They say that people never buy a half-inch drill. People always want a half-inch hole, and that is why they buy a half-inch drill. And people do not need a half-inch hole. What people really need is that they want to put a nail inside it. People don't need a nail inside it. Why do people put a nail inside it? People want to probably mount a wall painting and they just want the nail to hold it. So there is always a need that is the target. There is always a need that becomes the reason on why people buy certain things. And it's always to go from their current situation to their desired situation. Your product, service, or solution is the bridge that will help them to go from where they are to where they want to be. A clear understanding of the current situation and desired situation will help you in designing your offer in such a way that it can help them. And that's what we are going to look at in this section of this video. We are going to understand our customers so well that we are going to create a product or service for them that fits them perfectly. When there is a perfect fit, your offer will sell naturally, and that is what I call natural sales. You don't even need to put pressure to sell a certain product if you are able to understand the customer so well and you are able to develop a product with such a great product market fit. Understanding who people are and what they want will be your biggest challenge in finalizing your niche. And not everybody can do it very easily, and this is not something that you can come up by thinking. Whatever we talked about in finding your true passion and true talent is something that you have to think and you have to reflect on your own life experiences to come up with it. But when it comes to understanding the market needs, you cannot think your way into it. You have to do a lot of experiments, you have to do a lot of research, you have to do a lot of tests. And that is what we are going to talk about in this section of the video. And I'm going to show you certain methodologies and tools which will help you understand what the market needs. If you want to make a lot of money and still do what you love, you need to combine your passion and talent with the market needs. And this is what we talked about in the previous slide. So now let's go ahead and talk about your qualifications. A lot of people ask me, sir, am I qualified to go ahead and do this particular thing? And let me tell you the truth. The market doesn't care about your qualifications, degrees, or certificates. If you can help people get what they want, they will help you get what you want. Right now, I am training digital marketing and I am in this particular niche for quite some time. But has any one of you who are learning from me asked me what is my certification? Did I do a degree in digital marketing? Did I even do an MBA? Definitely not. I'm a civil engineer. I don't even know computer programming or coding, but I'm able to go ahead and do digital marketing and train on digital marketing because I can help you learn digital marketing. And I developed this strong social proof as a digital marketing trainer, and that is why you are learning from me. People spend years learning a subject, getting a degree from a well-known university, and sometimes even doing PhD. And then they expect the world to shower them with riches. No one cares about who you are, and that is the reality of the world. I don't want anyone to go ahead and do something like a qualification or a degree and then expect the world to know about it. Only if you are able to solve a particular market need, you will be rewarded. People only care about themselves. The only way to find out if something will work is to test it out in the market. You have to experiment, experiment, experiment. There are two kinds of labs. One is the mind lab and the other one is the market lab. You cannot keep thinking sitting in a room about what the market wants. You have to go out into the market and ask what people want. You have to create something called a minimum viable product or a minimum viable service. You will know people want it only when people buy it from you. You have to sell before you build. Before I sold my first ever course, I went ahead and asked my audience what they want. They said they wanted to learn Google Ads the most. And my first ever course was Google Ads Mastery course, and it sold very well because I first learned what my audience wanted. I did the testing in the market lab. I did not keep thinking about what my audience wanted. And for that, I had a community, which is also one of the important parts of learning more about your audience. I also went ahead and sold the course before I built it. I asked people to pre order the course, and only after I had enough orders, I went ahead and created the course and sent it to them. So that is how you need to change your mindset. You cannot go ahead and create a product first and then try to convince people to buy it. That is not marketing. A lot of people think that marketing is about pushing a product that already exists. And a lot of entrepreneurs end up developing products and then they hire a marketing agency to go and sell it. It doesn't work like that. Marketing starts with understanding who your customer is and what their needs are. And that is the core of marketing. Then you develop the product, then you present it to your target customer, and they will buy naturally, automatically, without any high pressure sales pitch. So let's look at how you can discover market needs. Start with understanding the needs of the market based on an assumption that you have. You can find out the top 10 blocks in a niche that you suspect has a market need. You can find out the top 10 books in a niche. You can read the reviews on Amazon and other e commerce sites for the products in a particular niche. That will help you understand what people are saying. Read the comments on product review websites and consumer complaint websites. What are your competitors not helping your niche with? And that is how you go ahead and fill a gap in the market. When you are filling a gap in the market, when you are solving a pain point that people already have, then selling becomes very easy. Do not enter a market with no competition. A market with no competition means that there are no buyers. Use keyword research tools to find out what people are searching for. And there are plenty of keyword research tools that I will tell you about. And you can go ahead and use these tools to have an understanding about what people need, what people are searching for. Here are some tools to do niche research. You can use Google Auto Suggest. Whenever you type in a keyword in Google, then Google will automatically show you some other keyword suggestions and it will fill it up for you. If you enter one word, Google will show you 3 or 5 words. And these are the keywords that people are already searching for, and it shows because people are searching for it. So that will give you an idea about what your market wants. Use these tools called Ahrefs and SEMrush. Both are excellent tools and they give you keyword search volume, the different types of keywords in a particular niche, and a lot of other data. So I have created a separate review video for Ahrefs, which I will give you along with this lesson, and you can have a look at how it works. You can use this tool called Google Trends. So Google keeps tracking the search interest for different terms, and you will be able to see how a particular term is getting popular or whether it is getting unpopular. I will show you a demo of that as well. You can have a look at your competitor's YouTube channel and view count. So if you are in a particular niche, see how many subscribers their channel has and how many views their videos have. So that will give you an idea about your particular niche and the competitors. You can have a look at Facebook and Google ads of your competitors. You can also go ahead and do research of your competitors' websites on Ahrefs. You can have a look at affiliate marketplaces. You can see what are the products that are available for affiliates to promote. And inside affiliate marketplaces, you will look at a lot of data that will give you an idea about what your market wants. You can also go ahead and tap into education marketplaces. You can go ahead and have a look at the Kindle bookstore. What are the books that are popular and what are the comments that people are leaving inside these books? You can have a look at Quora, Medium, and other blogging channels. So the whole world is at your fingertips. Doing research is not as difficult as it was before the age of internet. Today, everybody is online, and understanding what people want has become easier than ever. I have explained a lot of different techniques for doing niche research, but I will not go over all the tools that I have explained. Instead, I will go and explain you some of the most important techniques and tools that I frequently use for doing niche research. I will also include some links to tutorials and resources if you want to learn in depth about the other tools I have mentioned. The simplest one to use is Google Autosuggest. So let's say I want to go ahead and do digital marketing training. So I would search for digital marketing training. If I just search for digital marketing training, you can see that Google is suggesting me a lot of long tail keywords with basically words that are coming after the word digital marketing training. So digital marketing training course near me, digital marketing training online free. And this is how I found out that a lot of people want free digital marketing courses. So now let's go ahead and put it as free digital marketing courses. These are the different keywords that are being searched for. So let's say Facebook ads training. So Facebook ads training courses, Facebook ads training 2020, online videos, Indonesia, London, Philippines. I can say in India if I want. Or let's go ahead and search for Digital Deepak and let's see what people are searching for. Digital Deepak internship program, internship batch for reviews, webinars. So let's start something from scratch. Let's say I want to do some research related to fitness. So I would say how to lose weight or how to get six pack abs. So six pack abs. So what are people searching for? People are searching for how to get six packs abs at home. And this particular keyword is really popular right now, especially during the lockdown situation because people cannot go to the gym. People want to learn about how to get six pack abs, forget about making six pack. So let's say how to reverse diabetes without medicine. So how to reverse diabetes naturally without medicine, type 2, type 1, type 2 naturally. So now you have got some new keywords. People are searching for how to reverse type 2 diabetes naturally. So this is how you do niche research. So let's say top motorcycles in India, top 10 motorcycles, top 10 selling motorcycles, top 10, top 5 motorcycles. So let's say top super bikes in India. So if I want to start blogging about motorcycles again, then I would say top super bikes in India, in the world. So let's say I want to find out what do people need super bikes for. So I would say just put the word for and put space and remove this. So super bikes for sale, for rent, for sale in Chennai, for short rides. So there seems to be a demand for people to go ahead and rent out super bikes, and that is why people are searching for super bikes for short rides. So I would say rent super bikes. So rent super bikes in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, Goa, Chennai. So let's say search for Bangalore. Now you can have a look at the competition, and here you can see Wicked Ride is one of the companies which is giving out super bikes for rent. Then you have Thrilophilia, and this is the process of understanding how to go deep in one niche. And if you are doing digital marketing for different companies, then if you want to do digital marketing for automobile companies, then this is how you would do research for them. And if you are an automobile company, maybe you can look at renting out super bikes instead of going ahead and selling super bikes, right? So this is how Google Auto Suggest works. And Google Auto Suggest is basically a way to find out what people are searching for. It could be about competitors, it could be about the products in your niche or services in your niche, and this is how it works. So let's put a competitors keyword here. So if I search for Neil Patel, then Neil Patel digital net worth SEO tool, then I can find out that he has a lot of demand for SEO. And here we can see SEO course, unlocked, blog tips, services, YouTube. So this is a very fuzzy process to start with. What I would recommend is that you start doing some research, then you go ahead and put all these keywords in a Google Sheet. And once you put these keywords in a Google Sheet, you will be able to kind of get an understanding about what is happening. And once you get all the keyword clusters in one place, you will start getting more and more clarity. So this is a very fuzzy process to start with, but you go ahead and get started with it anyway. So let's look at another topic, which is data science. So I would say data science, and you can see data science courses, meaning, analytics, jobs, tutorial, certification, Python, syllabus, definition. So let's just search for data science course. And if I go ahead and put space, online fees details in India, in Trichy, in Udemy. So right now I am searching for this particular keyword from Tamil Nadu. So I'm looking at a lot of cities from Tamil Nadu, but you can go ahead and connect a VPN, search it from different locations as well. And here we can see these are the top programs in data science, and this particular company seems to have a data science program, and they are giving a PG diploma. So now I can do some competition research as well. So keyword research is directly going to be related to the research that you are going to do on your competition. So now let's say I have collected like a bunch of keyword ideas for different niches, and I want to find out which is more popular. So let's find out whether digital marketing is more popular, or project management is more popular, or data science is more popular. So this is going to be in India. So this is Google Trends. You can use Google Trends to compare two different terms and see which is more popular. And let's talk about data science. So if I compare digital marketing and data science, we can clearly see that digital marketing is more popular than data science. And let's say project management. And if you want to make a decision, so let's say you have ideas for three different courses. You want to start a digital marketing course, data science course, or project management course. You want to find out which is more popular, then you can use Google Trends to compare these different keywords. And let's say Python, or I can say Python training. Now it's a very broad keyword. So let's say Python training. And we can see that Python training is not as popular as digital marketing. So if I want to compare digital marketing training keyword versus Python training keyword, then we can remove these two terms and figure out which is more popular. So here you can see Python training is definitely more popular than digital marketing. A lot of people seem to want to learn Python. So Python is a pretty good programming language for people who are interested in learning how to manipulate data and things like that. So now we kind of start getting an idea about how different keywords compete with each other. So what I will do right now is that I will open this tool called Ahrefs, and I will show you how you can do some niche research and competition research inside Ahrefs. This tool called Ahrefs is a paid tool. You will be able to get like a 7-day trial by paying $1 or something like that. And you might not need it more than that if you are just at the initial stages of niche research. If you are going to be like a heavy user, then the basic plan will cost you something like $99 a month. You will also get access to Ahrefs if you are part of my digital marketing club, where all the members get access to all the tools that I use. So here what I will basically do is that I will go into Keyword Explorer and I will put the keyword here. So let's say learn digital marketing, and I will click on search. And here I can see what is the amount of traffic that this particular keyword gets in India alone every month. So here in India, 5,100 people search for learn digital marketing every month. And here I can go to all keyword ideas to find out what are the relevant keywords related to learn digital marketing. So what is digital marketing is a very strong keyword. The volume for this is 40,000 searches per month. So if I go ahead and click on this, then I will be able to see in India alone, 40,000 people search for what is digital marketing. And it is true because this particular keyword is getting very good traffic for me when I am running Google Ads. And here you can see people are searching for digital marketing courses, Google digital marketing course, digital unlocked, and these are all the keywords that you will be able to track, and you can target these keywords in your SEO and SEM campaigns. So we are going to learn more about that in the future weeks of the internship program, but here you get an idea. So again, this is a very fuzzy process to start with. You just start doing the research of keywords, and when we get into the SEO module, I will go in depth into how keyword research works and how you can organize all these keywords in a Google Sheet, and you can analyze which has the best opportunity. So I can also go ahead and look at the top pages to have a look at the competition and who is ranking for what keywords and how much traffic they are getting. Like for example, here you can see the person who is ranking number one has got 82% of the traffic share, and that's what happens. Whenever people rank number one, they will get most of the traffic, and even the number two is getting only like 10% of the traffic, and then number three is like 4% of the traffic, and beyond that the traffic share reduces exponentially. You can also do competitor research in ahrefs.com, and you can just enter the domain name of your competitor and get a lot of insights about your competitors. So let's go ahead and put neilpatel.com, which is one of my competitors, and let's look at what are the statistics around this particular domain name. It will show me the domain ranking. It will show me the total number of backlinks they have. It will show me the referring domains, organic keywords, organic traffic, and then it will also show me the traffic value. So the most important thing here is the top pages. So if I click on top pages, I can see what are all the different pages that they are ranking for and what is the search volume. So here you can see this particular tool called Ubersuggest, owned by Neil Patel, is getting a traffic volume of 106,000 per month, and it is in position number one because it is his tool. He is also ranking for the keyword what is affiliate marketing. I can go to his site and figure out what is the kind of article he has written and why it is ranking on the top in the first place. So I will have a look at the different pieces of content that he has included. He has also included a YouTube video on his site, and you can see that he has written like a really long article, in-depth article, and these are the kind of articles that rank on Google nowadays. You can't just publish a 500 word article or a 700 word article and expect it to rank, and you can see that this is like really in depth. So if I want to rank for this particular keyword, at least I have an idea about how to go about it. And here you can see how to start a blog, alternative research, 4 P's of marketing, Ubersuggest, more free 10 keyword research tools. So a lot of top 10 keywords rank very well, and I might be able to get some ideas out of this. You can also do research using this tool called BuzzSumo, and BuzzSumo will show you what are the different blogs in a particular niche that are getting a lot of traffic, and what are the posts inside these blogs which are getting a lot of social shares. So I will not dive too deep into keyword research right now, because when we get to the SEO week, we have like a separate week dedicated just for keyword research, and a separate video dedicated for keyword research, and you will be able to learn more about it. So here we are approaching keyword research only from the angle of wanting to learn about our niche and try to understand whether a particular niche is going to be worth it or not. So if I go to Keyword Explorer, and let's go ahead and try a brand new niche. So parenting is a niche, right? So you just start with a single keyword. So I just searched for the keyword parenting, and here you can see that these are the different statistics available here. In India, 7,600 people per month are searching for the keyword parenting, and I will go to pages. So what I can do is that we can look at the different pages that are ranking on top. So parents.com, let me go and open that. Guide to modern parenting. So this is not a site which is just dedicated to parenting. It is a news website. So we will not worry too much about it. Parenting for brain. So this looks like a site which is dedicated to parenting. Then we have psychologytoday.com, kidshealth.org, Let's go ahead and see if there is any site just dedicated for parenting. Today's parent. So what I will do is that I will first take this particular URL or the domain name, and then I will put it back into Ahrefs. So here I will put the domain name, and I will go to dashboard and put the domain name here. I will remove the HTTPS. And now that I have an idea about the sites which are competing websites for the keyword parenting, within this site, I can go ahead and have a look at the top pages. So if you want blog post ideas, if you want to have an idea about what are the sub niches inside parenting, then you can have a look at this. So here you can see, these are the different keywords that this particular site is ranking for. And you can take all these keywords and start putting it on a Google Sheet, and you can categorize these keywords in different sections. So here you have baby checklist, sleep training, typing games for kids, fun games for kids, hospital bag checklist, um, amber teething necklace, baby. So some things are like product specific. And what does a miscarriage feel like? So this seems to be like an interesting keyword, because a lot of parents, they unfortunately go through a miscarriage and they want to do more research about it. So if you want to help them, then I will go back to Keyword Explorer. Then I will just put the keyword miscarriage, and then we can find out what are all the top pages within that particular keyword. So I will go to top pages, and here you can see miscarriage symptoms, types, causes and support, miscarriage, Harvard Health, symptoms. So now you start to get an idea about what are all the different keywords that your niche is searching for, and you will be able to go ahead and get an idea about what your potential customers might want. And this is where you start. This is a little bit of a vague process to start with, because just like trying to find your way out of a forest, initially you don't have a map. You just have to try going in different directions and see where the path leads to, and then eventually you will get an idea about where you are. A lot of research is needed if you want to find out the market opportunity, and that is something that I would not recommend that you skip, right? This research process is very, very important. So now we have covered Google Auto Suggest, Ahrefs, and Google Trends. The remaining options are having a look at different YouTube channels, having a look at Facebook and Google ads of your competitors, having a look at what are the different products and services available inside affiliate networks, education marketplaces, Kindle bookstores, and other blogging channels such as Quora, Medium, etc. So I will not go ahead and give you a demo of all this, because these are pretty self-explanatory and pretty easy to do. I mean, you can just go to YouTube and find out how much views that each and every videos gets, and how many subscribers that your competitors have. Now let me talk about one more important area where it will help you a lot with keyword research and niche research, and that is Facebook groups. When you go ahead and create a community or a group, you will be able to ask questions inside this group. And when you ask questions inside this group, you will get answers. And one of the best ways to know about what your niche wants and what your audience wants is to just go ahead and ask them straight away. So what I recommend is that if you have a vague idea about what your niche is going to be, so let's say your niche is going to be parenting, you can go ahead and create a group about parenting, and within that group you can add a lot of members, and you can communicate with them, you can add value to them, and you can run polls within that group. When I started my first course, when I launched my first course, which was the Google Ads Mastery course, I just went inside my community or the group, and I asked people what they wanted. And they said what they wanted the most was a Google Ads Mastery course. So that's what I created first. And as I had explained it to you before, I created the course later. I first sold it because I wanted to know whether people are ready to buy it. So I always recommend that you sell first and then you deliver, but at the same time make sure that you deliver on time. Do not sell and then forget about delivering it. So that is the most important technique in the entire list, doing research through a community. Instead of creating a product and creating a community around your product, create a community and then create a product for the community. That is the best way to go about this. So you can also create a Telegram group if you want. Nowadays, a lot of people are using Telegram, and you will be able to run polls inside Telegram. You can run polls with multiple questions. You can answer people's questions. You can talk to people and understand their needs. You can also do an AMA session. An AMA session is Ask Me Anything session, where you are going to do like a live video and you can get people to ask you anything and you just answer their questions. And if you keep answering their questions, you will see that there is a pattern or a trend, and you will see that certain questions are being repeated often. And when you see certain questions being repeated often, you will understand that people want to learn more about that particular topic from you. For example, when I used to do AMA sessions in my group, people continuously used to ask about job opportunities, and people used to ask a lot about affiliate marketing. So I found out that a good percentage of my audience wants to learn about how to get jobs in digital marketing, and they also want to know how to earn money from affiliate marketing and blogging. And that is how I have designed my products, and that is why my products have a good product market fit. I don't come up with a product and then create a community around it and then I try to sell it. I first go ahead and create a community, understand what people want, and when I create a product that people want, it will automatically sell. You can also look for similar groups and invite members from there. Don't just create a group and sit idle and expect people to find your group and join automatically. What will happen is that if you create a brand new group, the visibility of that group will not be much. And what you need to do is that you can go to different groups and you will see that people are asking questions in other groups, and the group moderators or admins are not replying to them. So you can make use of that opportunity, and initially it will be slow. It's okay if you are doing things in a way that is not scalable. You first need to understand what is the market need, and once you understand the market need and once you have a product or service which fits the needs of the market perfectly, then you will be able to scale. Don't look for things that are going to scale right from the beginning. It's okay to start small, and then in the long term you can grow fast and grow big. You just need 100 members in a group to understand their needs. As long as you answer their questions, people are going to interact with you, and this is a very, very important part of getting your niche right. When I started digital marketing training, I used to give away a free ebook for people to download. And when people downloaded that ebook, they also gave their phone number in the lead form. And I used to call all the people who downloaded my ebook and I asked them, hey, why do you want to learn digital marketing? What are you struggling with? What are your challenges? And based on their answers, I ended up creating a big digital marketing company out of it. So that is how it starts. It starts small, it starts slow, and then you can grow fast. You can also run Facebook ads to get more members into the community, and we will learn more about Facebook ads in the week on Facebook ads. And my very first product was created after I ran a poll in my community about what they wanted to learn. And that's something that we already discussed about. So now we have a fair idea about how to find your passion and how to develop talent in one particular area. We have had a look at different ways to understand what the market wants and what the market needs. And we have not gone too deep into that particular area, which we will do in the assignment part. In this video, I just wanted to show you an overview of the different tools and methodologies available. What I want you to do is that I want you to go ahead and tinker with it, experiment with it, and there is no right way to do these things. I can just point you in the right direction and you have to go and do it by yourself. And you can develop your own methodology of understanding what the market needs. Once you have developed the mindset of understanding what the market needs, you will eventually go to the places where your audience hangs out. I have shown you a few tools, and these are just tools to find out what people need based on my own understanding. But if you understand that if your target customers are going to hang out in a particular area, go to that area. It could be a certain forum, it could be a certain website, it could even be offline, and understand what people need. Understanding what your potential customers need is the idea that I am trying to communicate here. So now that we have learned all these things, we also need to do one more important thing, and that is creating your customer avatar. And this is also going to be part of your assignment on creating your customer avatar. And creating your customer avatar basically means that you are creating a sample person who is going to represent your ideal customer. And you can have different segments of this as well. For example, in my business, I have three different types of customers. I have students, I have professionals, and I have entrepreneurs. And for all these three different types of customers, I would like to go ahead and develop a customer avatar. When I have a separate customer avatar for each of my target segments, I will be able to communicate with them in a very personal way that it strikes a chord with them. They will feel like I'm talking to them directly. So let's recap. What is a customer avatar? A customer avatar is an individual person who represents your target customer. This person can be fictional as well. If it is a real person, then it is going to help a lot because you will feel like you are communicating to a real person. You can have a global avatar and you can also have avatars for each and every customer segment you have. For everyone in general, my website design, the logo design, the brand message, everything is the same. However, if I am writing a sales copy, if I am writing a sales email, or if I am just writing a communication email, it is going to be different for each of these target segments. And having this particular person as your avatar is going to help you a lot in getting the precise communication. For example, let's say your target customer is a 30-year-old man and you will try to get to know this man as much as possible, their age group, demographics, income level, and everything. And you will only target this particular person in your marketing and sales messages. People who are not falling in this bracket, who are let's say 25 years old or 35 years old, will still feel your message relevant, but you need to make your communication in such a way that the largest segment of your target customer gets the maximum appeal. So what you are going to do is that you are going to understand your customer avatar very deeply, like you would know a close friend. And you can develop a customer avatar. You can get a sample customer avatar of a person who represents your customer avatar closely. And I will show you some examples of that. And you can browse through their Facebook feed, get to know them, become their friends. And that way you will have like a very deep understanding of who your target customer is. And you will be creating communication that will feel very personal, very deep, and it will just work. You have to understand their fears, dreams, goals, challenges, opportunities, and so on. And I recommend that you go ahead and talk to your customers, talk to your customer avatar, spend a lot of time with them, the ideal person who you are targeting. When you understand your customer very well, they will feel like you are talking to them directly. Even if you are communicating to a lot of people at the same time, each person needs to feel like you are communicating to them personally. That feeling will only come when you know them very well. And imagine this, you are not talking to people as if you are getting on a stage and talking to all the people at the same time. You are sending out emails, you are writing sales pages, you are creating websites, and each and every person who is consuming the information that you are creating is sitting alone at home. They are not sitting in a group. So, whenever you are writing messages, don't write like, hey everyone, and don't say, hey all. Just go ahead and talk to the person directly. Say something like, hey, how are you doing today? As if you are talking to just one person. And if you have received communication emails from me, and if you have seen my marketing messages, sales pages, and everything, you will feel like I am talking to you directly and you will feel that sense of connection. And that sense of connection is superpower. That is what brings us conversions, and that is why I am able to sell so many of my courses to so many students, and it converts because people feel like I'm talking to them directly and they feel that connection. You will never get that connection if you try to talk to everyone at the same time. So now that we have made this clear, let's go ahead and have a look at a customer avatar survey that I did for my previous batch to understand who my target customer is. So if you want to do a survey and if you want to use a form, I would recommend using something like a type form or Google Forms. So these are the questions that I asked to understand who my customer avatar is. I have a welcome screen. I ask for their name and I keep it optional. I don't want people to enter their name. It does not matter. I ask for their age range, gender, which city do they live in, what is their annual income, what is the highest level of education, in school what kind of a student they were, what is your marital status, do you have pets, what sports do you play, What is your favorite movie of all time? What are your top three hobbies? Some can be open-ended questions and some can be multiple choice questions. When you have open-ended questions, then you can go ahead and read about all the things that they tell you to understand what is their world, what do they do in their free time, what are they interested in. Do you enjoy traveling? What are you doing right now for a living? What do you check first thing after waking up? And I am asking all these questions to understand their world better so that I can put myself in their shoes and see how it feels to be them. And this is how deep you have to go. I also ask them about their phone usage. Do you own a car? And what purchase in your life you regret wasting money on the most? What makes you angry the most? What is your biggest accomplishment in life? So I ask all these questions to understand them better, and there is no strict rule on what questions you can ask and what questions you should ignore. You can use your creativity. You can ask some questions which you feel is going to give you a better insight about who your customer is. And I will show you the results of this survey. And here you can see these are the averages. 25 to 34, I have 285 responses. So 45% of my target customers are in 25 to 34 range. Then I have 24% in the 35 to 44. Then I have 20% in 18 to 24 age range. 73% of them are male. And here you can see which city do they live in. So most of the people are from Mumbai. This is for my previous batch of the internship program. What is the annual income? What is the highest level of education? Surprisingly, a lot of people have done postgraduate. So I would keep that in mind when I'm doing marketing. A lot of people are not just graduates, but they are also postgraduates. So if I'm asking like a simple question, how much did you spend on your college education? I can modify it and ask them, how much did you spend on your undergraduate and postgraduate college education? So these small things matter a lot. In school, what kind of student were you? 54% of my students are average students. And here you can see what is your marital status. Single and married, it is equally distributed. So when I see an equal distribution like this, I will not worry too much about it and I will not specifically call out people. I ask if they have pets. Most of the people don't have pets. What sports do you play? What is your favorite movie of all time? What are the top three hobbies? Music, bike rides, adventure sports is the current favorite. Introvert, ambivert, extrovert. Do you enjoy traveling? What are you doing right now for a living? In a job, looking for a job, entrepreneur, freelancer. What do you check first thing after waking up? WhatsApp, none of the above. Email, Facebook, Instagram. So people check WhatsApp as soon as they wake up. Do you have a credit card? Yes, no. What is your biggest fear or worry? And these answers are going to be very important for you. You can use them in your copy. You will see that there is a common theme with a lot of people giving certain answers. So here people have said that I am worried about wasting my life. I'm worried about getting rejected, fear of losing, being stuck in mediocrity, public speaking, misunderstanding, losing correct state of mind, fear of failure, public speaking, uh, ghost. Somebody is saying that they are afraid of ghosts. Fair enough. I worry about poor people. Why poverty cannot be eradicated? Debt. People will leave me alone. Success. Want to earn more than a multiple lakhs in a month. Worried about my future. So now if you keep looking at these answers, you will see that there is like a common pattern here, right? People are afraid of public speaking. People are afraid about their career, failure, future, and how they are going to perform in their career. And these answers actually gave me the idea to create the week one success mindset video, because digital marketing alone is not going to alleviate all these fears. People also need a success mindset. And this is how understanding my customers better is helping me create a better product, because in this particular batch you are getting the success mindset video, and you got that mindset video because I understood my previous customers very well. And in this batch also I will go ahead and understand my target customer very well, and that will probably lead to even better product market fit in the future. So here I can look at the goals. People want to earn money, want to start a company, and people want money and respect, financially free, successful in career, passive earner. They want to be an entrepreneur. They want to become entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur. So this is something I see getting repeated a lot of time. You can also download all these things, put it on a sheet, and try to see which of these keywords are repeating the most. So you can create like a keyword cloud, and that will help you understand what people really want. And it's a very simple process. You can search for keyword cloud generation tools as well. And These are the keywords that I can use in my landing page copy. So if I am creating like a sales video, or if I am creating a live webinar, or if I'm just writing an ad or a sales page, then I need to add these words because these are the goals of my target customers. This is what they want, and I would use the exact same words that they have used. I will not try to invent a new word. I will not say that, hey, go ahead and fulfill your life's purpose, go ahead and change the world, because change the world is not something I have seen here. So instead of trying to come up with ideas myself and trying to get the attraction of people, I will use the words which people are already using. And if I'm using the right words, then people will pay attention to me. I also ask them, what laptop or computer do you use? What phone do you use? Do you have a car? So what purchase in your life do you regret wasting money on the most? So when I am selling something like a product or service, I can tell people that, how much money you have wasted by eating outside. Why don't you go ahead and invest that money in a course? And here you can see luxury items, clothes, engineering, commercial vehicles, and you will start seeing common patterns here as well. And a lot of people say that they are cautious with the amount that they are spending. And I've also asked them, what makes you angry the most? Lies, silence, when people ignore you. So people ignoring is actually a very big pain point. That's what I talk about in my personal branding module, that when you build a strong personal brand, then people will not ignore you. So these are the different things that we have: laziness, losing money, lies, lack of accountability, annoying people. All this I can include in my sales copy as well. And biggest accomplishment in life, and these are some positive things that people talk about. And I can show you this information because I am not revealing any personal information of anyone. And I will be doing a similar survey for this particular batch as well. So this is how a customer avatar survey will look, and you can do this customer avatar survey on Typeform or Google Form, and you can add all the questions that I have given you, and I will also give you a list of all the questions you can ask them. And if you don't have a lot of people who can answer these questions, you can still try to get some 5 or 10 people who will fill up your survey. So as long as you have some level of data, it's going to be enough to get started. But the more data you collect, the more accurate your customer avatar will become. So let's go and have a look at this particular person, Adarsh. So Adarsh is my customer avatar. So in my batch 3, I went ahead and took an average of all the data that I had collected through the Typeform, and I asked it on my Facebook group. I asked people, how much do you think that you relate to this particular person? So this particular person is going to be on the age range of 25 to 34, and he is going to be a male person. He is going to be from Mumbai. He is going to earn 3 to 5 lakhs per year. He is a postgraduate. He is going to be an average student. He is single. So I ask all these questions on the group, and I tell people, what is the percentage that you match? And then I look at all the profiles which match 100%, or let's say more than 95%. So Adarsh was one such person. So Adarsh is my global customer avatar when it comes to the internship program as a product. So here I understand more about Adarsh. I look at his Facebook feed. I follow him closely. I have had a lot of conversations with him because he is my target customer. So whenever I create communication, I think about Adarsh. I am always writing my emails to Adarsh. I am writing my sales copy to Adarsh. I am creating my webinars for Adarsh. And this is what I have in the back of my mind. Let's quickly recap what is a customer avatar. An individual person who represents your target customer. This person can be fictional. You can have a global avatar and also avatars for each customer segment you have. You can understand your customer avatar very deeply, like you would know a close friend. And you can actually befriend them. A lot of your followers and subscribers, they wouldn't mind if you help them with their goals and challenges, and they would actually become your friends. And this is a very good way to improve your communication to your target market. You should understand their fears, dreams, goals, challenges, opportunities, and so on. Ask them what are they afraid of. Ask them what are their dreams. and don't just read what they have typed in a form. Sometimes people are not very honest when it comes to writing about it in a form, and they will open up a little bit more when you have real conversations with them. So have real conversations, take notes, and have a very clear idea about who your target customer is, just like you know your close friend. Imagine some friend from school or college, and how well you know him. Think about that. So you should know your target customer as well as you know your close friend. When you understand your customer very well, they will feel like you are talking to them directly. Your entire audience will feel like you are talking to them directly. And a lot of people who are watching this video will feel like I am talking to them directly. And you will feel like I am talking to you directly because I understand you very well because I have done the research. Now let's look at why customer avatar creates the foundation for your marketing campaigns. Communication is always people to people. It is never from a brand to an audience. If you are communicating, you are a person and then you are communicating to another person. This is where we don't call it B2B and B2C. We just call it B2P, which is business to people. And nowadays it's not even B2P anymore. It is P2P, which is people to people. And that is what the new age marketing is all about. So on one side, you need to communicate as a personal brand, and that is what I call deep marketing. And you would have observed that in this entire internship program, I am giving a lot of focus on personal branding. And I have also showed you that as a personal brand myself, I have become bigger in terms of market share and popularity than some company brands who are trying to teach digital marketing. And this has happened because people connect with me better. I have a story, and people remember that story, people trust me, and it is much more easier to develop trust as a personal brand than to develop trust as a company. When you use your personal brand to do the marketing, and when you use your personal brand to launch products and services, people are also a little bit more forgiving. No company is 100% perfect all the time. And people understand that people cannot be perfect all the time. If a company screws up, people get angry. But if a person screws up, people are a little bit more forgiving. And there is a lot of mistakes that I have done in my career. Sometimes I have launched courses and did not finish it on time. There has been errors in the payments that I am making. Sometimes the support is not very reachable, and people understand that I am a personal brand. And since they trust me, since they like me, they are a little bit more forgiving. So this is the new way to sell your products and services and to build a brand. You need a personal brand, and personal brand will set the foundation for deep marketing. On the other side, you need to communicate to a specific person. That is where we develop a customer avatar. So until now, we have focused a lot on how to define your customer avatar and who you are communicating to. And if you communicate to this customer avatar as a company brand, then all the work that we have done will not be of any use. You are going to gain benefit from this customer avatar exercise that we have done and creating your customer avatar only if you communicate as a personal brand to them. If you get this right, everything will perform better. Your blog post will perform better because you are a person and you are communicating to a specific person who is a customer avatar, and they will feel very connected to your blog post. They will feel connected to your writing. Your ad copies on Facebook will perform better because you will be running ads from your personal profile page or your business page, which has a personal name in it instead of like a company name. A lot of people make the mistake of putting their company name on the Facebook page and they run ads using their company Facebook page. And people do not connect to those pages very well. People will respond better when they see an ad from a personal brand. So if you're scrolling through Facebook and if I'm advertising, you will see Deepak Kanakaraju as the name of the page because I have a business page which is on my personal name, and that is when you would respond. Next time you see an ad running from Deepak Kanakaraju, then you are more likely to click on it rather than clicking an ad from a company that I am managing. Your sales page will also start performing better. You will have better response to your webinars, and every form of communication will start performing better. And a lot of people do not understand how I get so much traction in such a crowded market, which is digital marketing, where there are so many players. And this is my secret weapon. And this is not something that I talk about when I am posting my YouTube videos or blog posts, because nobody goes that deep when it is free content, right? And in this internship program, you get to know my secret. The reason that I am getting so much traction in the market is because I use deep marketing methodology, which is to be a very clear personal brand, but you're also communicating to people very specifically by developing customer avatars. Digital marketing is more about marketing than about digital. Many people get so much caught up with Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, the techniques, keywords, and then they forget about people. And digital marketing is not about the digital tools that you have in your kitty. It is more about the marketing, and marketing is about communication, and communication is about people. A lot of people focus more on the digital part than the marketing part. If you understand marketing very well, then your digital marketing will automatically perform very well. And that is why in the week 1, week 2 and week 3, I have focused so much on the fundamentals and the base principles, because once you get that right, tomorrow there will be n number of techniques, there will be n number of ad platforms. Today you have Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, social media. Tomorrow there might be a new platform where you can go and advertise and reach out to people. But if you get the marketing part of the entire journey right, and if you get the people part right, then you will be able to make any platform work in your favor, because end of the day it's still people. They might be in a different platform, but it's still people. So learning customer avatars is important before you learn copywriting, paid advertising, marketing automation, and sales process. Every business, including your competitors, communicate to your customers on a very surface level. But here we are going deep. You have the capability to go deep because you are communicating to them as a personal brand, and you also know who you are communicating to. And that is why I call it deep marketing. And I am working on my book called Deep Marketing, where it talks about all these concepts. And I feel that deep marketing is the future of marketing. Now let's talk about personal branding in the context of your niche. And we will talk about how by creating a strong personal brand, you can become a hero in your niche. We talked a little bit about personal branding in the previous weeks of the internship program as well. And you would observe that I talk a lot about personal branding. We have a separate week in this internship program just dedicated to personal branding. But I will give you little bits of golden nuggets about personal branding through all the videos that I am making for all the weeks. So, what does it mean to become a hero in your niche? The future of marketing is personal branding. Have a clear mission statement for your niche. For example, I say that I want to create 1 million digital marketing experts in India in the world. And I say it repeatedly. Whenever I am doing a webinar, I say it. In my books, I write about it. In my blog, I write about it. In my email campaigns, I write about it. And I make it very clear that, hey, this is my mission statement. And you need a mission statement for yourself. If you are in the parenting niche, then you need a mission statement for that. You can say something like, my goal is to create 100,000 intelligent and caring parents or super parents or whatever it might be. You understand your niche better. And you can create something like that, and that will help people relate to you very well. And it's not that you are doing what you are doing just for the sake of money. You are doing what you are doing for the sake of a mission, and people relate to it very well. And I hope you relate to me very well, that I'm really passionate about creating expert digital marketers, and that is why I do what I do. And every great company in the world also has a very clear mission statement and value statement. Who are you? This is called an elevator pitch. Let's say you get into an elevator while you are traveling, and you are going into a building. You get into an elevator, and let's say the elevator is going to the 10th floor. You probably have something like 20 seconds to explain someone what you do. And let's say somebody is asking, hey, what do you do? Don't be all over the place. And a lot of people cannot explain what they do in a single line. And you need to work on this, you need to develop this, and you need to have like a 30-second elevator pitch. The pitch is basically going to be talking about who are you helping, and what are you helping your target customer with. So if somebody asks me what I am or who I am, I would say that, hey, I am Deepak and I am a digital marketer. I help people become digital marketing experts, and with that expertise, they can increase sales in their business using digital marketing. They can become digital marketing professionals. And this is how I would give my elevator pitch. And you need to develop something like that for yourself. You need to have a very, very clear elevator pitch. You can modify it a little bit based on who the target customer is and who you are talking to. But you need to know these parts. You need to have a very clear definition of who you are helping, and what you are helping them to achieve. Your journey needs to be clear, inspiring, and consistent. And I keep talking about my own journey as a digital marketer. I started out as a motorcycle blogger, then I became a digital marketer, then I became a digital freelancer, then I was an entrepreneur where I started my own digital marketing agency, and now I am a digital mentor where I am training other people on digital marketing. And you might remember this story very well. And I have told this story at several places. I have told this on my TEDx talk. I have talked about it in my webinars. I talk about it in my emails, blog posts. Wherever I go, I have a very clear, consistent story, which is inspiring not to everyone in the world, but to my niche. And that is why I tell you, you have to be the hero in your niche. When you are the hero in your niche, people would buy from you because they want to become like you. You need to have some inspiration there. And you need to be consistent. You can't tell a different story every time you are going out there. You need to have a good online presence. You need to have a good photo, social media profiles, blog, if possible, a published book. When you have a published book, then you have a very good chance of getting a lot of PR, and you will be able to, have a lot of visibility as a book author. You will also develop a lot of authority. You can go to talk shows, you can go into interviews, have a YouTube channel with a decent following, and most importantly, have enough reviews. If you don't have reviews, then ask your initial set of customers to go ahead and leave a review for you. You can get branding by association. If you are just getting started out in a niche, you can interview other people in your niche. You can collaborate, you can create a mastermind group, and you can feature them on your channels. Don't hesitate to share your following and your leverage to other people in your niche. Only if you give, you will get back. And you would have observed that I do this a lot. I promote other digital marketers. I'm part of a mastermind group of other digital marketers, and I promote them. I do an interview with them. They do an interview with me. They publish it on their channel. So all this keeps happening. And when you do this, then people who know the other personal brands will end up knowing you. People who know you will end up knowing about other people, and don't feel like you are giving away the leverage and the following that you have built to your competition. It's okay. There is going to be multiple players in the same market at the same time, and that is how the market works, right? You just have to differentiate yourself with a unique angle, and as long as you do that, you will not necessarily lose any market share, and it is not going to hurt you. Now let's get into the God mode. Let's talk about achieving mastery in your niche. You will not reach God mode if you just do personal branding without doing the work. Marketing is just a perception, product is the reality. Whatever you do in marketing is to lead customers into a product. And if your product is bad, then the customers will feel cheated. Great marketing will kill a business very fast if the product is not good. So you see that I do a lot of personal branding. I publish on social media, I publish blogs, I do interviews, I do YouTube, and all those things are very good for personal branding. But end of the day, my product has to be good. You are now part of this internship program, and you feel that I have really put my heart and soul into the content of this internship program. If I had not done this internship program in the way that this is, then all the personal branding will start backfiring on me. People will always trust other people's reviews first. They won't just look at a personal brand and say that, hey, I will just go and buy this person's stuff because he has a huge personal brand. Personal brand will only get you discovered. But if you want to build a long-term brand, and if you want to build a very profitable brand, then you need to go ahead and have a really, really good product. And that is when you will reach God mode. And this is like a little bit of a paradox where I say that personal branding is important, and then I say it's not that important, product is even more important, right? So a lot of people have great products, but since they do not do any personal branding, since they do not do good marketing, those good products are not discovered. A lot of people who do good marketing are not having great products. So they do a lot of marketing, people discover them, and then they have a very, very bad product. You need to have both. Only then you will reach God mode. You will become a master in your niche, and there will be no one who can compete with you. Be the leader who brings back the objective truth in your niche. For example, let's say Elon Musk. His niche is private space company, right? And he is launching rockets, he is launching payloads. Now he is also launching astronauts into the International Space Station. And soon enough, he will launch people into the moon, and probably very soon he will launch people into Mars as well. And he has brought back the objective truth in his niche. The generally accepted truth was that, yeah, private company can never be a successful company in the space niche. If you are launching rockets, it has to be always done by the government. And Elon Musk actually changed the rules of the game. He said that a private company can do it, and he thinks from first principles, and he goes ahead and changes everything around him. He creates his own reality, and then people come and live inside his reality. He also did this with Tesla. He proved that you can go ahead and create an electric car company, and you can create an electric car which is sustainable, does not need to run on subsidies, and it can be a good car. It can be the best car in the world. It can be better than petrol and diesel cars. So everybody used to think that electric cars can never be successful. It will always look funny. It will always be like a toy car, and it will never compete with normal cars, which are like very fast and very sophisticated. But Elon Musk brought back the objective truth in his niche, where he said that you can make an electric car and you can make it better than petrol and diesel cars. And you can see that this is my story as well. In the digital marketing niche, I approach things differently, and I looked at companies which were selling digital marketing courses without having a personal brand. And I felt that to sell online courses, to sell online training, personal branding is very important. So I went ahead and created Digital Deepak into a brand, and I started working on my personal brand. I created the market perception. I have created a good product, and things are changing now. And soon enough, other people will start noticing that, hey, this is how you do things. So the objective truth is that personal branding can work better than company branding, and for online training, a personal brand can always be a better mentor than a company who is selling online courses without having a clear person behind who is making the online courses, right? So I am trying to bring back the objective truth in my niche, which is online training in the digital marketing niche, or probably online training itself. And after this internship program, for people who are interested, I'm also planning to start an internship program on digital mentorship and how you can become a digital mentor and you can train other people just like I'm training you. And this is the new way of doing things. I would recommend that you don't start a training company. I would recommend that you build your personal brand and then use that personal brand to become a digital mentor and teach other people. And one more thing I want to talk about is that whenever you are doing business, you have to focus on your customers, not competitors. A lot of people get worked up too much by looking at the competitors, and they try to just imitate the competitors. And that is what is happening in the market right now. Somebody launches a digital marketing course for, let's say, 5,000 rupees, and others are also trying to launch the same kind of course. And I can see that in the market happening so frequently. I launched my course called the 100-day blogging course 2 years back, and everybody started launching courses like 70 days course, 90-day course, 30-day course, 100-day course. And very soon, other people will also start launching internship programs because they are just copying me. And instead of focusing on their customers, they are focusing on me, and that is why they are not able to succeed in the market. I'm not going to look at my competitors. I'm just going to look at my customers. And all these ideas like 100-day blogging course and the internship program came because I am focused on my customer. I really think about what my customer wants, and I just go and serve them. And this keeps expanding. And even if I reach a level where I'm far ahead of my competitors, I'm still going to continuously improve my products to serve my customers better. And this is something that Amazon has very clearly said. Jeff Bezos in an interview said that You can be either customer centric or competitor centric. If you keep looking at your competitors, you will only be one step ahead of your competitors. You don't want to be one step ahead of your competitors, because if you are one step ahead, then you will become complacent and you will start slowing down and your competitors will overtake you. If you are customer focused, you will be probably 10 steps ahead of your competitors and your competitors cannot even come close to you. That's what is God mode, right? You are far ahead of your competitors and nobody can catch up with you. Push your niche towards the objective truth, break the rules, rewrite them, and show the world how it is done. If you can't do it, then don't do it. This is the best way to do it. Focus on your passion and master it. The money will come. I started blogging about digital marketing in 2013, not because I thought that I can make a lot of money with digital marketing, but I did it because digital marketing was my passion. From 2013 to 2016, I kept blogging without having any monetary returns because I just loved doing it. And all the time spent in your area of interest, in your area of passion, will take some time to bring the big rewards. If you want to earn several crores in revenue, several crores in profits, it will come only after a few years. You can't expect those things to come within 3 months or 6 months. And if you chase money, your customers will run away. If you chase your customers, money will chase you. And I want to end this presentation with that quote. And I want you to remember that it is very important to focus on your passion and interest. And that is when you will develop mastery at it. And with all the techniques I have given you in terms of understanding the market needs, developing the customer avatar, developing a strong personal brand, you should be able to go ahead and succeed in your niche. And I want to see you succeed. So this is your time. Attack the market and take over your niche. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.